India, early 1990s. A new name rises on Dalal Street, a name that becomes legendary and notorious. A man who started from nothing but controlled the entire stock market. Harshad Mehta, known as the Big Bull. This is the story of how one man changed India's financial history forever. Harshad Shantilal Mehta was born on July 29, 1954, into a modest Gujarati family. After completing his commerce degree, he tried his hand at selling everything from hosiery to cement, even sorting diamonds. But every venture ended in frustration. He was a man with a big appetite. Searching for a world that could match his ambition, he found it in the heart of Mumbai's financial district. The stock market wasn't just a discovery, it was a calling. He didn't have the pedigree or the capital, but he possessed something far more valuable. A ferocious risk appetite and an almost supernatural instinct for market trends. While others followed the rules, Harshad looked for the loopholes. He saw opportunity in every fluctuation, a ladder in every market dip. This was the beginning of his transformation, from a struggling salesman to a financial predator learning to hunt. By the late 1980s, Harshad Mehta was ready to own the game. He launched Grow More Research and Asset Management, a promise to his clients and a declaration of his intent. He championed a replacement cost theory, targeting undervalued companies. One stock became his legend, ACC. Applying his full force to keep the stock market rising, Mehta needed massive capital, so he turned to the banking system. Banks used Ready Forward, RF deals, short-term loans between banks backed by government securities. But there was a problem. The system trusted brokers blindly. No one checked whether the securities actually existed. Harshad didn't just see this loophole, he mastered it. He took money from banks, and instead of buying securities, he pumped the stock market. Everyone was earning. Brokers, banks, investors, politicians. India was riding on an illusion, and Harshad Mehta was the magician behind it. April 1992, journalist Sucheta Dalal exposed the truth. Harshad Mehta had misused Rs. 500 crore from the banking system. Panic spread. Stock prices crashed overnight. Investors cried. Banks froze. The Big Bull was arrested. His empire collapsed. The financial system went into shock. The scam eventually grew far beyond the initial Rs. 500 crore. India realized it had never seen fraud on this scale. Court cases multiplied. Charges stacked up. His wealth disappeared. His lifestyle vanished. He fought case after case for years. His health declined. On December 31, 2001, at age 47, Harshad Mehta died of a heart attack while in custody. The Big Bull's roar suddenly ended. Harshad Mehta's story is not simple. He forced India to change. Banking reforms stronger. SEBI regulations, digitalized government securities, tighter financial oversight. But debates continue. Was he a genius? A visionary trapped in a broken system? Or a manipulator who took advantage of millions? Maybe he was both. His ambition built an empire. His greed destroyed it. And his story remains one of the most dramatic financial legends India has ever seen. This was the rise and fall of Harshad Mehta, a man who shook India's markets and left behind lessons the world will never forget. For more deep financial documentaries, subscribe to Trading Verse. Harshad Mehta, a name that still divides India, even decades later. Some remember him as the Big Bull, the man who made the stock market feel like a gold mine. The man who proved that a middle-class boy could rise above the system and shake the entire financial world. Others remember him as the architect of India's biggest market scam, a mastermind who bent the rules, played with loopholes, and triggered a crash that wiped out the savings of thousands. But who was he, really? Was he a genius who saw opportunities others were too blind to see? A visionary who understood the market long before India was ready for him? A man punished not for breaking the system, but for exposing how weak the system already was? Or was he a man consumed by ambition, whose hunger for power and wealth pushed him to cross lines he should have never crossed? A traitor who built dreams on borrowed money and left a trail of chaos when it all came crashing down. Some say he lifted the market. Some say he destroyed it. Some call him a hero. Some call him a villain. But the truth? The truth isn't simple. Because Harshad Mehta wasn't simple. He was a man who rose from nothing, ruled Dalal Street like a king, and fell harder than anyone before him. So was Harshad Mehta a symbol of hope? Or a warning about greed? A legend? Or a lesson? You've heard the story. You've seen the rise and the fall. Now it's your turn to decide. Was Harshad Mehta a hero or a villain? Tell us in the comments. We're waiting to hear your verdict.